This week is a Desmond-centric episode, episode 11, Happily Ever After. And the episode starts off with Desmond waking up on a bed, and he's obviously not in a hospital. The girl comes up to him and says that you've been sedated for 3 days, and then he wants to talk to his wife, and Whitmore comes over and assures him that his wife is fine, and Desmond wants to know where he's at, and Whitmore finally tells him he brought him back to the island. And I like this part because Desmond finally gets back at Whitmore. He hits him with his IV, the little stand his IV's on, and he starts beating the crap out of him until his security guards come and take him down. And that was really cool. That was good to see Desmond finally get to hit Whitmore because I never really cared for him that much. Alright, so when Jen and that lady is going back to wherever they're going to do that test on Desmond at, I seen that big box, I was thinking, what the hell are they going to do to that guy, you know? And then inside, when they're getting ready to try to turn on the generator, and it messes up and it's not working, and you see the white rabbit in the cage. I thought that was pretty cool. Too bad there weren't any numbers like 23 or 8 or something on it, that would have been pretty cool. Alright, so the one guy finds a bad breaker on the generator, and they're like, don't turn on, and then before he turns it on, but that guy was an idiot. Why would you turn on and stand there after they said don't turn on, like he wouldn't switch it off? And then the dude's in there, he's getting fried. I'm like, oh my, I felt terrible for that guy. I didn't know who he was or anything, but I mean, he got zapped in there. And then you got, they're bringing Desmond up, and he looks in, and you see the guy laying there. He's all fried. He looks like something cut from KFC. And if that would have been me and Desmond, and then guys were trying to push me in there, I'd say, F you guys, let me go. I'd be fighting my way out of that place after seeing that. What are your guys' thoughts on Desmond being able to take all that electromagnetism without getting fried like anybody else that would have been in there? Whitmore said that he's the only person in the world that's ever been able to survive something that catastrophic before, and he's the only person in the world that's been able to do it and survive, and he wants to, if he did it then, he wants to make sure he can do it, he'll be able to do it again. What's that mean? I mean, do they plan on letting some kind of electromagnetic bomb off on the island so they'll get rid of Flock? That's my idea. Leave it down below. Tell me what you guys think. Alright, so Desmond tells Claire that it's a boy. And then she looks back and he's like, I bet it's a boy. And that's pretty cool because obviously he's remembering stuff because he's flashing now. And who's there to pick Desmond up at the airport? But that, I don't remember the guy's name, back from season 4 when he was on that boat and that guy was going all crazy because he was flashing in and out of time like Desmond was. I thought that was really cool that they brought this guy back. I didn't see this one coming. Whoa, wait a minute. This isn't right. Desmond just walked in to Whitmore's office and got a hug? He got a hug. Alright, so this part was really well written. I loved how it went back to how it's completely opposite of how Desmond and Whitmore's relationship was before. Whitmore absolutely hated Desmond, and now they're like, best friends almost. And he even offers him some of his McCutcheons. That shit's like $300 a shot, And so anyways, he does talk. Well, the first thing I want to hit on is that he says that my son, he wants Charlie, and Drive Shaft to be at this thing because he wants to put rock and roll and classical music together. And I knew as soon as he said, "Have you ever heard of the band?" And I knew he was going to say Drive Shaft. And but I thought it was really cool though. He also did talk about how it must be nice not to have any kind of attachments or a family, to be a free man again. And I don't know. I think he knows a little more than he's putting on, I think. Yes, Charlie's back. And what does he do after he gets out of jail? First thing I do, go to the bar. Alright, so Charlie's talking about how whenever he tried to get rid of his drugs that he started choking. And when he started choking, he started blacking out. And he obviously is talking about, he sees Claire, blonde hair, beautiful. And the Flash sideways, it's finally starting to get good. Because I don't know if I'm sure I said it before, I haven't really been a big fan of the Flash sideways, but this episode has definitely changed my mind. I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening with all the characters, you know, because they're all going to tie in somehow. And but I like how Charlie says in this one, he says, and when I was just about to become taken over by that love that I felt from her, and he said that some sodding idiot is standing over him asking if he's okay, which he's obviously talking about Jack. Charlie grabs the steering wheel and crashes them off the dock, and they land up in the water. And this was really cool because Charlie's inside the car and he doesn't really look like he's struggling to get out. I think he's looking to see Claire again, and he puts his hand up to the window, and all of a sudden Desmond flashes and he sees the time back in season 4. Charlie has written on his hand, it says "Not Penny's boat," and now he's starting to flash, and he's starting to realize what's going on now. It's getting good. So Desmond goes and gets an MRI done, and I knew right away. I said, once they stick him inside that thing, it's a big freaking magnet. He's going to start flashing again, and he does. But this time he sees his son Charlie, and he also sees his wife Penny, which totally freaks him out. Now he's starting to remember what his life is really supposed to be. And so now now he needs to find Charlie. So Charlie says to Desmond, none of this matters, and he says that the only thing that matters is the feeling, and to stop worrying about him and start looking for Penny. Is that the writers trying to tell us not to worry about what happens in the Flash sideways, or what? I don't know. I just thought I'd ask you guys. Is it just me, or does Eloise Hawkins seem like she knows that they're in a Flash sideways? It seems like that's what's happening to me. She seemed a little shocked to see Desmond at that certain point in time, but I think she knows what's going on, and that for whatever reason he's not ready to do whatever he's supposed to do. I don't know. That part was kind of confusing, but I thought it was good. Yes, and finally, Daniel Faraday is back. Daniel Faraday doesn't think that he needs to let a nuclear bomb off because he thinks he already has. And by Desmond seeing Penny, that lets Faraday know that he's seeing some of the same things as Faraday has, because Faraday's definitely seen Charlotte, and I like the little reference that she was eating a candy bar, but Faraday knows that Desmond is seeing the truth because Penny is Faraday's half-sister. So Faraday is going to let Desmond know where he needs to go to see her. So Desmond sees Penny running up and down the stairs, just like when Jack and Desmond was running up and down the stairs of the stadium. And I thought that was a nice little reference. Alright, so Desmond gets another flash and he's back on the island, and now he's being cooperative. But as they're walking away, Saeed shows up, takes out everybody, tells the girl to run, and then Desmond even cooperates with Saeed to go with him. And then all of a sudden he flashes back to where Penny's at. And it was funny that she says that all of a sudden you stand there and you shook my hand, I touched you, and you passed out. I must have an effect on you. Well, of course you do. Penny is his constant. Remember? This is great. Alright, so Desmond and Penny are going to go out on a date, which is really good. Good for Desmond. And then he gets in the car, and George, he asked him if there's anything else he could do, and Desmond tells him, yes, you can get the manifest from the flight 815. And he's like, well, why do you need that? And he's like, because I have to show him something. Just like Charlie had to show Desmond something. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming episodes. I'm glad Faraday's back, Penny's back, Desmond's back. This is great stuff, guys. See you next week. Everybody loves Hugo.